What's happening, party people? This is your daily morning motivational message. Because we do motivation every day, it's a lot like taking a bath, our personal hygiene. You want to have a consistency and a standard that you maintain for yourself. There's something that I read about the samurai, and that is that the samurai they would ensure to bathe every day because they wanted to remove the remnants of all the work and the sweat and the stench so that they could be born anew for a new day, a possible new day of battle. And there is a renewing of that. The word renew, be ye not conformed to the ways of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That renewal and that transformation, they go hand in hand. And I want to ask you the question, are you willing to give yourself the space and the opportunity to renew, to be born anew? Paul said, I must die daily, meaning we die to the old self so that the new self can be revealed. And there's something very courageous. Ralph Waldo Emerson talked about the courage it takes to change your mind, to be fully invested in an idea, moving in this direction, and then have the courage to say, no, we're going to now move in this direction. And these choices that we make, there are going to be, I wouldn't recommend that they have a high frequency, but I would recommend that you have to understand when to pivot. Sometimes we're on a track and we're running on the track, but it's not, we're not moving forward. We're running really, really fast just to stand still. And so I was having a conversation with a friend yesterday, and she said, "Hey, I don't know, based on what I'm seeing, I've been watching this gentleman work, and he tells me he works hard. He looks like he's working hard, and he's been at it for 4 years, but he's not, from where I'm sitting, it doesn't look like he's making any progress." And I said, well, that could be for one of two reasons. One, he's really not working that hard. He's saying it looks like it, but he's just not. Or two, he's driving a vehicle that can't get him to where he wants to go. Like, no matter how nice a Ferrari is and it's fast and it looks sleek and it's, sexy, I can put you in that Ferrari. But no matter how fast it goes, it's not going to get you across the Atlantic. It's just not going to happen. It's the wrong vehicle. You can drive it as fast as you want, but it's the wrong vehicle. And sometimes people are not taking inventory of the vehicles that they're in. And more importantly, they're not willing to pivot, to make a change. And it's a bold change. It may be in a new direction, but that's why I like that parable that's from the Bible. Be ye not conformed to the ways of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Renewing, meaning you're taking on a new lens, a new pair of eyes. You're looking at it with a different perspective. And then you're giving yourself permission to transform. Be ye not conformed, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So that transformation starts with you, giving yourself permission to reinvent your life. There are so many compelling second and third and fourth acts that we've all witnessed, whether we know people in our lives or we've looked at it from a distance. And watching somebody reinvent themselves is magical because you could see that they're giving themselves that permission of creativity and imagination. They're giving themselves the boldness to take on a brand new identity and walk in that. And you see them thrive, you see them shine. Now, that's a process, right? It's those steps. So, number one, I'm not going to be conformed to the ways of this world. I'm not going to fall into the habit pattern of just doing what I've always done and getting what I've always gotten, even though I'm complaining, even though I want different outcomes, even though I want a different dynamic in my life. And I'm keep doing the same things, expecting something different. That's what Einstein would call insanity. So be not conformed to the ways of this world. I'm going to interrupt those patterns. I'm going to interrupt that course of action. And then boom, I'm going to take on a new direction, a new identity. But be ye transformed, transformed. Now I have a new identity. I can be whoever I want to be. If I decide I want to take on a new career, I can embrace that. I can learn, I can grow, I can develop. Um, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So, great example is the gentleman that I've told this story before, who ran a very successful auto mechanics shop. And he wanted to build a reputation as someone who is honest, trustworthy, and reliable because he understood that a lot of people were being taken advantage of because they don't know a lot about cars. And he built up this reputation and he built a business and it was very successful, 25 years of doing really good business. And he had always said that he wanted to complete his college degree. He never got his degree. So he goes back to school and he has to take some core courses in order to do that. And so he takes biology, and in taking biology, he ends up falling in love with biology and the body, the human body. And he realizes in his studies that he really wants to be a physician. Be ye not conformed to the ways of this world. He has a very successful way. He's got a very successful auto mechanic shop. But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. He decided that he wanted to reinvent himself. And he reinvented himself in the identity of a medical student on the path to becoming a physician. And so at that stage, he sells his business. He has that conversation with his wife. She supports him because he's going to be in school. It's going to be a lot of hours. It's going to be very intense. And this man forged a new identity on a new path of becoming a physician. And he is that physician today. And that's a powerful example of how we can make up our minds and we can hit that reset, reinvent button and take on a brand new path. And we can build on that success. So think about all of the relationships he's cultivated over those years, and think about all of the people he's going to be able to serve in his new identity as a physician, because he made that decision: be ye not conformed to the ways of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So I ask you, is there something that you need to evaluate? Do you need to pivot? Do you need to take a look at the vehicle that you're in and perhaps consider a different vehicle, something more efficient, more effective at getting you where you want to go? You're not a tree. You have the ability to change and to continue to grow. So hope you got some value out of that. If you did, please like and subscribe and go ahead and pass this message on, because it is a blessing to be a blessing. Have an awesome day. Happy Winning Wednesday.